Hello, welcome to RCR Wireless News. I'm joined today by Damian Artt, President for America Regions at Polycom. Thanks for joining us today.
Very nice to be here.
You were named President for Americas last January. What's your plans for these years and what is challenging you for this new position?
Yes, I was named President on January 2nd, 2013, so this is my second month. And so I'm still getting my bearings and understanding what our pitfalls are, what our upside is, where our growth is going to be, and putting my plans in place to take full advantage of that.
And you're visiting Brazil. What's the importance of the country?
Well, isn't that interesting now? After only 6 weeks here, I'm visiting Brazil already. It's important because, well, it's the 5th largest country in the world, also by population, and also the 7th largest economy. And so clearly, if I ignore Brazil, that's a problem. I'm very focused on the top 20 economic countries within the Americas, and certainly Brazil ranks very, very highly amongst those. And so I'm interested in coming here and understanding more about how we do business here, how we could do more business here, how we could grow more in Brazil, and therefore invest more in Brazil.
And for Polycom, this importance of Brazil is noticed by revenue, for example?
Yes, in terms of total sales, total revenue, and growth over the last few years.
Talking a little bit more about video collaborations around the world, how do you see the future of video collaboration and how video collaboration is increasing, boosted by LTE?
Well, I think video collaboration around the world has not fully taken off yet. And I think we're really at a pivot point for video collaboration. I think what's been slowing it down are two things. One is the lack of bandwidth globally, and two is the lack of interoperability between different video devices. And now I think is the time where it can really take off, because the bandwidth issues are being solved, particularly through the rollout of 4G LTE, and the interoperability are being solved by Polycom, because now whenever you want to do video collaboration, you no longer need to rely on one walled garden talking to a same walled garden, whereas with Polycom, different disparate systems can communicate with each other. So we can communicate with all our competitor systems, we can communicate with mobile devices, with Android devices, with Apple devices. It doesn't really matter what your endpoint is. Polycom provides a solution to interoperate with virtually any device that can connect to the internet.
So is that the key message when you were competing to Cisco, Avaya, or Siemens, for example?
It's absolutely key. Interoperability is absolutely key because Polycom provides it and our competition does not. And that's really what's going to allow use cases of video collaboration to really take off. When you think about the use cases where a company may not just want to talk internally via video, but rather talk with their partners via video, or talk with their customers via video, Polycom now makes that possible because we will be able to interoperate with whatever systems, whatever video systems the partners have, or with whatever video endpoints, video devices the customers have. And so that leads to a whole new thought process and a whole new introduction of different use cases for video that were not possible in the distant past.
You said that video collaboration is just in its beginning. What can we expect for the near future with, for example, BIOD or enterprise mobility phenomenon? Do you think when companies bring their own device, or when they provide more mobility to their employees, they can help video collaborations to increase its importance?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as the world goes mobile, your solutions must go mobile with it, which is why Polycom is totally embracing that paradigm. With mobility, comes along many, many different use cases. For example, with Polycom mobile video now, salespeople in the field are allowed to do things they couldn't do before with their BYOD devices, communicating between those devices and perhaps to corporation, or in the field communicating between themselves and their customers. In many different industry segments, mobile communications is being taken advantage of. I mean, imagine, you know, far-reaching things like putting video cameras on drill wells and having that information, you know, go back to headquarters. That's something that Polycom enables today with oil and gas companies. Or think about, you know, in the finance sector, the banking company wants to communicate with a customer who's having a problem, and rather than the customer try and talk to someone on the phone or to instant message them, they can have them on video. So there we have a B2C scenario, which can be enabled by mobile because the customer only perhaps has a mobile device. So there's many different applications that will come online now because Polycom is enabling mobile video.
And how does Polycom work in the ecosystems? I mean, when we are going mobile, we start to talk about mobile cloud, for example, or some video solutions as a service and based on cloud computing. How Polycom is building all these ecosystems to unveil and to make it possible to all kind of enterprise to get this kind of solution?
Well, we are releasing a product called Cloud Access, which is just as you've described it. It's video on the cloud, and it could be also offered as video as a service by service providers and mobile operators. And the concept is let's say you're a Skype user, and let's say I want to communicate with you, and my company uses a Polycom system, and we want to bring in an expert to give us some advice, and that person is on Facebook. Well, what Cloud Access allows us to do is to bring those disparate entities together securely onto one single video collaborative call. And so that interoperability is phenomenal. The uses are endless for that.
And you, at the beginning of this interview, you named bandwidth as one of the barriers to increase the video adoption. What are the other barriers to increase this market, and how Polycom is working with partners such as telecom operators or other enterprises to reduce this barrier?
Yes. Well, certainly now the bandwidth issues are being solved, and now the interoperability is being solved. One other aspect of the use or not use of video is perhaps the cost, the price of it. And
the cost of the bandwidth.
Yeah, exactly, and the cost of the bandwidth itself. And so what we're seeing some operators offer around the world now is a video as a service, where they would provide a managed service for video collaboration to, it could be small, medium, or even large businesses, depending on what their business model is. And so they could buy video collaboration by the minute, and therefore they wouldn't have to buy their own infrastructure. They could basically rent time off an operator's infrastructure. And even in some cases, operators are even offering managed endpoints where they wouldn't necessarily even have to buy their own devices. They could buy those by the drink.
And this is a merge for telecom operators as a value-added service that they can offer to small, medium, and even large enterprise. Are telecom operators on a pipeline or roadmap from Polycom to offer them your video platform so they can be a reseller, for example, or a channel to your systems?
Yes,
solutions?
We're speaking to a number of operators around the world about that, and in fact we have already signed an agreement with AT&T, and today they're offering that managed service to our clients in most parts of the world. So that has already begun.
And AT&T in US, do you think that carriers throughout Latin America or other regions can embrace this and follow AT&T and start to offering this as well?
They most certainly will. There's no doubt. It's just a matter of time. It's inevitable because it makes great sense. It offers a value-added service, to the bandwidth that they've already invested so much money in, and so getting the average revenue per user up is certainly a key component of their business models, and offering video as a service certainly adds to that.
Is Polycom talking with any Brazilian or Latin American carrier?
Yes.
Can Looking forward to 2013 and 2014, how do you think the region will grow, and in what pillars? What are the key pillars from this growth?
Well, I think that we've done a great job in the Americas region, growing our infrastructure with large companies, and many of the large companies across Latin America, many of the large companies across South America, already use Polycom infrastructure and Polycom equipment. I think where our growth will get greater is now in the medium to small business, where we facilitate different models, different pricing options, different palatable business models for small and medium-sized business across the region. And I think we'll see significant growth there too. And that way then we'll cover the entire spectrum of business, whether it's tiny all the way to conglomerate.
And challenges to sell to small and medium business are very different compared to a large one, right?
Very, very different. And the good news for us is that we have an excellent partner network across the Americas. And so we will be leveraging that partner network greatly to sell into small and medium-sized business space.
Thank you a lot for this interview.
All right, thank you very much.
I'm Roberta Prescott. Follow us at rcrwireless.com.